Alright, so men are often reluctant to talk about their deepest needs in intimate relationships, whether social conditioning or the inability to communicate our needs. Who is to blame? Women. Because people tend to think that we are less emotionally invested in intimate relationships. And so we are prone to suffer silently whenever we have problems, because we cannot talk to our partners. But now, whether you're a man or a woman watching this episode, you're going to get clarity on what it is that you're supposed to do when you're dealing with yourself and your partner. So today I'm joined here on set with, of course, beautiful minds and handsome face. Prove them wrong that men also have excuse me, but the Maliza, handsome face, prove them wrong that men also have handsome brains. So today, of course, I'm joined with Mark, and of course, I have two beautiful ladies, Stella, Mugi, also called Misbehave. I'm Misbehave, right?
Misbehave.
I'm Misbehave. And of course, Irene Kesoti. So guys, we're talking about gender-based violences, but you're taking this particular angle, like what is the effect of GBV on men? Like what do men go through, those who are in toxic relationships? So on to my first question. Do you believe that men are less invested emotionally in relationships than women? Let me start with, of course, I'm Misbehave.
Thank you. So I personally believe, speaking from like an African perspective, I believe men are conditioned socially to think that emotional vulnerability is a weakness, is taboo, because they haven't seen it growing up, they haven't seen it with their fathers, grandfathers. And if you're too emotionally vulnerable as a man in our society, you're seen as, it's almost like your feminine side is too open for us to see, and most people don't like that. So men, yes, they suffer silently because they'd rather not acknowledge that their emotions are valid or should be listened to, as compared to a woman.
So do you support that they are less emotionally invested?
They are not less emotionally invested, they'd rather not show it. That's what I think, yes.
Well, what you is
Well, for me, I feel like it's the fear of men being called a puny, because they are scared, and most of them follow this thing called toxic masculinity so that they can be seen like more masculine, yet they can't express their feelings, you know. And some men just can't wait until some women or some men see them as masculine. And that's why you find that some men following on that male toxicity or male masculine toxicity, you find most of them committing suicide. Like, you can follow the likes of Amerix. Amerix tells men that try and sleep without a mattress, yeah? And then that man will sleep without a mattress because he's following that person via social media, you know?
Then they say, kwani mimi mwanamke.
And then we'll be like, kwani mimi mwanamke. What's the difference between like, kwani mimi mwanamke ama wewe mwanaume? Because us, we see you, but you just can't show it because you just fear to be called a puny. And I feel like you should show your emotions,
right,
and express it more.
Oh, what about you, Martin?
What I would say about this matter is men are usually emotionally invested. They just tend to hide it under some cover because the society doesn't have room for that. The society wants men to be strong and be responsible in some way. So toxic masculinity has become a big part and very dominant mostly to men because they are usually expected to be like that.
All right. So guys, it's in this regard that we decided to come up with this topic. Like, how do you communicate as a man in a relationship? But now, the focus must be, because if you go to every single social media account, any platform, be it YouTube, Instagram, anywhere, or even in Google, and then you Google GBV, it's always connected to gender-based violences on women and girl child. But the question is, do men also suffer in relationships? So guys, that is what we want to talk about. Now, let's start by just building up on this conversation. So, someone said that apart from emotions and stress, what else do women bring in relationships? Apart from emotions and stress, I can see you're already boiling. Apart from emotions and stressing up men, what are the other things that women bring in relationships? I think it's too big.
I'll start.
All right.
Okay, for me as a woman, even the Bible says, if I come to you or we get married, we are married as one, right?
Yeah.
You have to share your emotions with me. I have to share my emotions with you. And relationship is all about two imperfect people making one thing perfect, you know? And then the only thing is that most men, as I said earlier, they are so weak and they are so emotionally drained by social media to express their feelings. Like, look at how many divorced men are out here, sleeping with girls like, oh, I'm just removing my stress from you. Because yeah, I've had some, and you come to think of it because of their toxic wife, or maybe because of their toxic environment. And me considering relationship, if you are dating me, bring your imperfections. I bring my imperfections because no one is perfect.
But now let me just cut you a little bit. But we're talking about a society that is stereotypic. Like they believe that an African man has to be strong. Any signs of weakness, that is like, bro, man up. So if the society is the one that has that perspective on men, what makes you think that you as a woman who has been brought up in that particular society, you won't be able to also just dive into that kind of a stereotype and say that your man needs to be talked to?
You know, we are in 21st century. We are not those African women. We are not like our mothers, yeah?
An African is older than Africa.
You might be African, but we're in 21st century. Because how can I be an African woman, yet you as a man, you are following toxic masculinity on social media, and that you ask me to pretend to be an African woman for you. Let me be a woman that you want. You didn't marry me because I'm your African woman. You married me because you saw something in me. And me, I'm bringing what you saw in me to you, so that you can share your emotions with me. I'm not the only one with the emotions. You will share your things with me that's draining me.
All right. Let me hear from Stella.
So let me go back to that question. I don't like this question of what do ladies bring to the table.
Why did you like the question?
Because often someone who is asking you that question is someone who is blind to the value you are bringing to the relationship. So come maybe immediately someone asks me that, I'll fall back and believe myself. Why is my value absent to you? Why are you asking me this question?
No, first,
me
does he has
answering.
a table? Does he has a table for you to bring something?
And bringing something to the table, see financial. Bringing something to the table, financial. Let's say I get married to a rich man. I may not be bringing something to the table financially, but this home that this house that he has bought, I will bring my value by making it a home. It will be cozy, it will be a home, and I feel like, I married a woman of value when each time he comes home.
And now let me ask a question directly to you.
Wait, if you are enough for yourself, don't look for me as a woman, I love to ask
what are you bringing to the table? Like
the moment ulikuja kutafuta, you saw that there's something you're lacking. You needed a woman's touch in your life for you to move on to the next level. So that is actually a very insulting question.
All right, but on the same issue about insulting question, let me ask you this directly. Do you believe that there are women who are toxic?
Yes. Yeah.
And let's take a typical scenario here, right?
Yes.
The man is still hustling, but the woman is materialistic, right? This woman wants the man to always spend on them, take them out, do ABCD, and they don't take no for an answer.
Yes.
So if this guy sat down and asked this lady, yes, you expect you to do all these tricks for you, what are you bringing to the table? Is it wrong?
Okay. You're addressing the question to me?
Yes.
So the same way men have been socially conditioned to be strong, to feel like to be a man I have to be less vulnerable than viewed as a man.
Yeah.
In the same way we women have been told, told, you've just seen it. You've just seen that your idea of a man, your idea of a man is a provider. Women will lie about this, but the first thing that clicks in a woman's mind when you think of a man, I need a man in my life, is someone with a provision mentality. So if you're coming to me and you don't have that provision mentality, I may not be materialistic,
But deep down you are.
but I expect you to lead. And if I lead, nitakukumbusha. Women they'll remind you. They will often remind you. Hata kama nakupenda aje, I will remind you because ninaona it's not natural for me to take this leading role. It's not.
Okay, let's hear from us.
That question is correct.
Correct, right?
What kind of women are you people dating?
Guy, hata mtu wanashangaa.
Yeah, the question is correct one because most women, unajua unasikia na mademu wanakumbuka nimeambrikiwa, nimeachwa, you know, umse alinitusi and all that. One thing is because the moment you go to the relationship, you never showed your value and kuna vile like ulijiobjectify, ulijionesha wewe ni mse analipwa. I'm paying you to stay in the relationship.
But let me get this point clear. You're saying that this woman who has come into a relationship, right? And she's decided to objectify herself.
Yes.
She hasn't portrayed any value. So would you as a man go for valueless option? Because if you as a man saw that this lady didn't show you any value and they objectified themselves, you wouldn't have gone for something that is valueless, right? But so the fact that you guys are already in a relationship, does that mean that you guys are not?
What I'm talking about is the aftermath. The after maybe a breakup, maybe chana, after maybe a month, something like that.
I want to ask you something. Do you know why women, after a breakup, they upgrade from you? Do you? Does anyone know that why after women glow up after breakup? Siku mbili tatu, kadeo kashapelekwa Dubai. Siku mbili tatu. Girls, it's not just to prove. It's not just to prove.
But that's the proof.
Because, let me tell you, because this lady, when she was with you, kuna Kenya alikuwa napata akiwa na wewe. Na Kenya alikuwa nakosa. And the moment akatoka nje hiyo relationship yenu, ameenda huku nje yeye mwenyewe ameona ajitafutie, ama ameona pate mwingine, kuna Kenya anapata more than from him, you know? And that's why don't ask a lady, what are you bringing to the table? Man, I'm bringing life, I'm a woman. I carry a kid. Imagine, na beba tu mtoi wako na hiyo kichwa yake kubwa. Na when you ask me what I'm bringing to the table, yet nikiwa na mtu mwingine na ngara na nikiwa na wewe na parara. No?
Wow.
Make it make sense, you know? You guys, like, why is it when I'm with you, na parara na nikiwa na mtu mwingine na ngara? Because that person already has a table, and you don't have your table yourself, right?
We thought that you were taking a focus on men in toxic relationships.
Okay, I know.
Now,
The moment you say it about what are you bringing to the table, what am I bringing to the table? Remove money and sex. What are you bringing to the table?
all right. I haven't seen any man. No. Okay. So last. So Jesus. Now you talked about relationship being a collaboration of two imperfect human beings, right?
Yeah.
So you come into a relationship and you expect this guy to provide. Right? Maybe you personally also can provide for that relationship. Then this guy can provide. Then you start saying that, okay, there's something that I'm lacking in this relationship. Let me go look for it outside. So how does your ideology of two imperfect human beings coming together to make a perfect house, like being put together?
Exactly my point, what I'm trying to say. About imperfections, hiyo ni kitu kama marriage. Ama hii relationship umeamua, let's take it to the next step. Because me, you can't claim me if I don't have any relationship. No. So, the only thing that I'm saying is, wewe mwenyewe unajua type ya mwanamke mwenyewe unataka, you know? You need a hustling woman, you need someone who has their own money, you need someone she's beautiful. Why can't she expect the same from you? I need a handsome man. I need a man who has money because I have money. I need a man who is well bagged. Because At the end of the day, kwa hii generation yetu mwanaume mgani anapeana maua isipokuwa rich kid. And you, like, what are you bringing to the table? Man, as a lady, don't ever expect a man to tell you what are you bringing to the table. Make him have the table first, so that you can bring what he wants. Because yeye mwenyewe aliamua kudate kwa sababu ameona umse na mdate kwa sababu unaona kitu fulani ndio analeta kwa meza yangu. You know? So don't be asking, oh, what are you bringing to the table? You saw me, you know what I bring to the table. I didn't see myself, you saw my scars, I didn't see my scars. You saw my pain, I didn't see my pain. And me to choose you, I saw you are hustling, and I decide maybe I'll help you up.
If all women are this way, the rate of Kiburi has speech.
No, it's not Kiburi.
No, we're talking about this.
No, I'm like, what was the question? What was the question?
No, like,
what are you bringing to the table?
Listen. We are talking about being in a relationship, right? Right? Now, for you to be in a relationship, it means, don't say that someone stole your scar. Did you see his before you decided to move in?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, hold on. I'm going to Stella. Stella, do you support what she's saying?
Not entirely.
Thank you.
Okay, here's the thing. Before you, okay, you've grown up, you're now an adult. It's no one's responsibility who come and work on your traumas. No one is anyone's therapist, whether it's the man or the woman. So as a man, don't come to me with your childhood trauma, with the problems you've experienced as a child growing up. Don't come to me with your daddy or mommy issues.
Yes.
Work on yourself as an individual, be a high-value man. You will attract me, the high-value woman. So that maybe I'm not bringing you my baggage. Mm-hmm. So if we're two individuals who are self-aware and we know what you're doing in the relationship, there won't be childlike questions like this ones, to be honest.
All right.
There won't be.
Thank you. Martin, now, we've heard what Lorraine has to say about whatever she expects as a woman. Now, you as a man, assuming that you are a hustling guy, fresh from campus, you've got this relationship that you really want to invest in, but right? The only thing that you depend on is the normal side hustles of gym. Now, are toxic relationships dangerous in man's health? Explain to us.
Yeah, they're dangerous in that they lead to you pushing to some ages that are not your level. Sometimes you find a guy promising his lady something that he can't afford. Deals and take you to where I'll buy you this dress. And then unapata say, yes, atajaribu, but that's not his level, one thing. And inapelekea mse kuwa emotionally damaged. You'll have to wear a happy face every time. Yet ulitoka hiyo mjengo unasema umetoka huko foreman amekukelelesha, amefanya hivi na hivi, and then when you come into the house you have to be like so happy about it. You hug the wife, and mostly inakuwa toxic in a way. Maybe it's worse if you find a housewife. It's more worse if you have a wife in the housewife, because unapata huyo dem anakaa hapo kama meza. Unaona kiache meza hapa, you will still find it there, unaget. And then umetoka job, umehustle, and then unampata hapo. Maybe unakuja na kukelelesha and all. So you have to, it's a struggle.
Can I just say that kulingana na the way you guys are speaking, you have suffered.
Exactly.
You do know that you attract what you are.
Before we go to that point, like, what do you mean by tumeteseka?
You know, if you see that you're attracting people who are bad for you,
leave them.
Why am I attracting this? Why is this something I go for all the time? So where as an individual, questions your patterns of behavior. Why am I attracting bad women when why am I attracting a woman who just sit in the house and damage emotionally? Why did you see that and go for it? Because
you know one thing, relationships are about issues. As in, for example, dating, that's when you can't know someone is perfect. but just looking at that.
What's courtship for, unless you just jumped into the relationship?
What?
You didn't court the lady. You didn't. And during that courtship period, you didn't get to know who you're dealing with before you bring her into your home. Good.
No, I'm not. I was not talking about my situation in actual sense. I'm just saying I'm depicting.
But I can answer.
I'm depicting what people do.
They did court, right? But things change. People change with time. Trust me. Yeah. People change. You come to this guy, table stand. You come to this guy, as she says, you're looking for a provider, someone like when you're a provider. Then all of a sudden you get to this relationship. This guy provides for like 1 year, 2 years. You guys get married, give birth to a kid. Oh my goodness, life is so sweet because this guy can provide. And you don't necessarily have to get the question, what I bring to the table. Then all of a sudden this guy gets I'm a food worker. Then you guys are back to scratch. So what do you say? The same way you guys did court. Gonna like this, I'm a perfect other one, right? Then you come, you start doing relationships, and all of a sudden, the man. You see? So you can necessarily say that, okay, why didn't you know more about this person before you guys decided to move in? Situations change people.
That's why we're going to testing.
Wow.
Yeah. Because you people are hurt.
Like, okay,
what is toxic to you? What is toxic to you?
What is toxic to me?
Yes.
Like someone is just coming
To leech off of you.
to leech, and they don't even expect to be asked, what are you bringing to the table? You know, when you talk about what are you bringing to the table, you don't even think about money. You see?
Okay, remove sex and money.
Wait, not every man who comes to ask for your hand in marriage or maybe say relationship is only looking for that sex. Trust me, one thing that men look for individually, the physical attributes attract a man. The character changes off the man. Yes. And all that, right? And they're attracted to you. Any man who is normal, akiona figure 50, trust me, they start drawing, they follow that. But now, you can never see someone's character instantly.
Yeah, where's it going?
Yes.
That's
why you say, with time, situations change. You find that the person that you thought was perfect for you is no longer perfect for you.
Okay, my question is to you. Since you said about toxic women, and he answered that maybe I promised them, like a man that I want to know what's toxic to you, because me, the way I know toxic is not the way he describes it or the way you say it. So I want to know what's toxic to you. I can explain myself.
Is it the way she says?
The way he says toxic.
So toxicity in females, it can manifest itself in probably if I'm the woman in the relationship and you're the man, my toxicity it will show itself by me emasculating you, me reminding you that you're nothing, comparing you to other men. What are you doing?
Any small argument, I crash your car or maybe crash something.
That's being petty.
And also physical.
Okay, that's toxic.
And also physical violence towards a man is toxicity.
That's toxic.
Toxicity will be like nowadays no longer. Probably you have a girlfriend, then maybe an afanyezi, TikTok, Instagram, and all. And then when you get into a relationship, there are some things which are unspoken codes. You get. The moment I saw you, will you validate enough? Like I'm attracted to you, and this is where, and we are building things. You get. So when you get into a relationship, and then you be them anaanza kuposta vitu zingine. Then some things which show skin, like a lot of skin.
So you met
me.
So you met me on TikTok and liked it.
I'm not talking about.
Well, she's just being a Kenyan. I'm not. Just want to hear what you have to say.
I'm not talking.
Let's just speak.
Okay. What I'm saying is.
Because Miss Yoni.
What I'm saying is that, like, kuna level ikifika, there are boundaries you draw. You got enough. You have me. What are you validating more? Like, what kind of validation are you looking for out there?
So let me ask you, ideally, so I'm an Instagram babe. Whether you saw me on Instagram and you liked what you saw, and you're not the only one seeing it, of course. So, whatever for you, if I come into the relationship with you, I should stop this social media life journey so that I boost your ego, Ama?
Not boosting my ego. It's not about my ego.
What's wrong with me getting
It's about the
validation?
relationship.
What's wrong with me getting validation if I don't act on it?
Okay, what kind of what do you want to achieve under the validation?
Skiza, in brief, just
Anataka nini kingine, like what does she
Come
want?
on, am I here to change for you?
No, like
The only thing I change for you is marriage. Like, bro, put a ring on it. If you end a relationship,
you guys are
putting a
attacking
ring
my
on
bro.
it.
You guys are attacking my bro.
No, man, get the fuck up. Because like you're putting a ring.
No,
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. If you're looking for a kama unataka wedding, you go straight unasema nataka wedding.
Wewe chukua tu kienyeji.
Things
Chukua tu kienyeji.
anasema
Don't change a woman for you.
No.
Don't change a woman for you.
Hata kienyeji can change.
Let me get this point.
Chukua tu kienyeji kwa sababu
Okay, Lorraine feels like she's being attacked.
yeah, Meg.
see about, let me tell you something. Honor, ako like you're so self-centered.
No, you are downgrading women for you.
No, that's
For you.
There's no quality in you.
Ulichukua mama.
There's no
Ulichukua
quality.
mama kwa mtaa, right?
Okay, let's do this.
Ameiba, my baby.
Unasema there's no quality or okay, nilikuuliza, is there any upgrading after you posting those pictures?
Yeah.
Upgrading.
Kuna OnlyFans.
What?
Inalipa. OnlyFans inalipa.
Okay, so these guys are attacking you for no reason. Now, you're complaining about your babe, not TikTok babe or Instagram babe. I'm not teaching, I'm gonna bro. So bro, you're talking about your babe, right? And if you're not comfortable about your babe going to display whatever music or pali or TikTok or Instagram, that's what you're saying. Yes, maybe ulimpata pali, no?
Yeah.
Ulimpata kama bonji. Did you see the property naked? Then ukasema like, let me go for that.
Okay. Unajua like the picture what Kenya nasema ni ulipata dem. Huku muona sisemi ile ya net.
Okay.
Sisemi ile ati ulipata net ukaminbox and all. You're getting the wrong picture. What I'm saying is ulipata dem, a good babe, ukamkatia, akaingia box. You started dating, you get. And then like in the middle, like kwa relationship ndio unaanza kunotice. Unapata
Kuna
venye anaandika like unajua
Kwani yako kuonyesha mara ya kwanza?
let me tell you something, eh?
Hapo inaonyesha
Kunaonyesha online.
Man, me if you are my man, I'll show you everything. Like check it, into Instagram account yangu, into WhatsApp account yangu, into nini yangu. I'll show you because I trust you and I love you and I treasure you and I trust you.
That's the one who's not toxic. So we're talking about toxic. Yes, proceed.
Kenya nasema ni like that's a different picture from what they are toka Kenya wana debate. It's a different one. Ni kama mimi nipatana na yeye nikukatie uingie box we start a relationship. Unaelewa? Kuna vitu tu ni unspoken. Okay, there's no man. Unajua maybe celebrities. There's no man who finds comfort kwa bibi wake post like almost new pictures. Zile zimeshow skin to the point of
First of all, mimi atakwenda yangu ni bado toka mapaja tu meka nenda kupiga.
Yeah.
Don't expect for MSDF from Ghana.
there's no hata nikwambie
Yes, don't show
SDS don't
there's no man who finds comfort. Hata kama you are dating someone and a smile, there's no man who finds comfort.
Nobody. Even
Nobody.
Nobody.
I'd rather step up one step then.
Right, I think I'm going to cut this briefly because I want to invite some questions from the audience or their input on what you think about this conversation.
So first I'll comment on one issue. It's not that you attract, you should not ask yourself why you attract bad blood or maybe bad men or bad women. Trust me, good people are vulnerable. So mtu atakuja na intention mbaya kwako na ujui. Haimaanishi ati wewe ndio unaattract mtu mbaya. Sawa. Alafu my question is, it's about emotional quotient around here. So it's okay for a woman to be too emotional, right?
Yeah.
Is it okay for a man to be too emotional?
Yeah, it is.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because I want the ladies to confirm to me. Because women go out there saying, my man is so soft. my man. But for us, when a lady is too emotional, crying just publicly, be just, it's fine, relax. But for a man, like for what happened to Bahati, that's being too emotional. So is it okay for Bahati to be too emotional? Okay, let's use some names, but is it okay for a man to be too emotional?
Yeah,
so,
it is.
You can answer that.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay as long as, okay, I'll answer to that. As long as una feel umse mwenye uko na yeye, he or she will understand you, or she will understand you. Emotions zako mpeleke, usilete mtu mwingine. Because at the end of the day, utalete emotions zako kwa social media, utatoka piuli. Lakini yeah, it's okay to be emotional, too emotional. You can confide in my titties. Huh? Yeah, it's okay to be emotional.
Yeah, okay. Get come to what? Okay. What I'm saying is that, as in, it's okay for a man to be too emotional, but don't publicize that.
Yeah.
Too emotional.
True.
Alright, so yeah.
Okay, may I have a question? In this generation, are we can I say we are mostly attracted to the physical form than the spiritual form, than the than the emotional form? Can you say that? Like, let's say people are most attracted, us as this generation, we are only most attracted to money, to when we are looking for a spouse, we say, oh, I'm looking for someone who is just financially stable, let's say
well-being.
Yeah, and then we forget about other things, about how to get to know their families, how to get to know what this person really wants to be in future, rather than what they are at that point.
For me, I believe that when you go on a date with someone, he tells you what he wants in a relationship. If you're there emotional, like you're emotionally available, you tell me, oh, it's just the emotion that you want. Okay, you can have it. You want this? Okay, you can have it. What he wants, he'll tell you. What you want, you'll tell them. Like you, for example, you need a spiritual guy, you tell them on a date. Like,
no girl will never
Okay.
come to go for a date and then tell a man, all I want is money. You want money?
I can.
Then you're talking.
What if,
Exactly.
okay,
I mean,
what if that's what you want, and then you get into it, and then you realize this is not what I wanted,
My microphone.
okay? And then you later start saying, I regret. I've seen most women say maybe they said, I want a man with money, okay? And then when they enter in that marriage, they live without nothing. They say, I wish I knew I hadn't gone to that marriage because of money.
Okay, me personally,
Do you think?
personally, mi naamini, wewe unaleta flows zako. Huyu msee analeta flows zako kwako. So when uingie kwa hiyo marriage, huyo msee ndio utakuuliza. Don't just be there like, I'm going to try on that marriage later. But anyway, at the end of the day,
Okay.
why would you laugh in a wheelbarrow?
I can answer you that. Let me tell you guys there's being you can cry in a Mercedes Benz, and you can also cry in a Tesla.
Yes.
You know, a V8. But trust me, a V8 is more expensive than a Benz, right? But let me tell you one thing. I'm not saying you go to cry on a wheelbarrow, but you can find that good person who just has a good life. He doesn't have that extreme life you want, and you'll be comfortable. You know, you don't have that bad life. You know, so I'm not saying someone should cry maybe on a wheelbarrow, but trust me, you can cry in a Benz, but you don't have to suffer toxicity in a V8. You know?
Can I say something? We should stop thinking that if I get money, oh my God, I'll miss out on love. Or if I get love, I'll miss out on money. You can have both. It is possible. Don't limit yourself into thinking that I've met this guy, akona pesa sana. You know the way ladies think, kama akona pesa mingi hivi sana, there must be something wrong. His game must be down, or there must be something wrong. Ama tufuati ni mtu wa ghetto hana pesa, una assume the love is good, but he doesn't have a future, he doesn't have something ukombele for himself. No, you can have both. Believe that you can have both because it's possible. It's happening for people. So yes, it's possible.
Let me say, you cannot materialize. You can materialize the way you want, everything that you might think, but you cannot do that when it comes to emotions. Emotions are relative.
Yeah.
My friend ukikuwa broken says liquid. Whether you're going to weep in the bathtub, au mnaenda kulia kwa bafu kuliweka kamba ya nguo, you are hurt.
Do you think now people are emotionally available?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, to me, I guess I meet some wrong people. Kwa sababu mse unamwambia, okay, me man, I just want to be loved. I just want someone to love me and hold me and this. And then this person will be like,
you are busy looking for a provider.
No,
someone
like,
is going to care and
no, like I'm trying to say this. This person will come and say, no man, I just feel like I want a situationship. Oh, where?
You know, it depends. You as a person, where do you go to? Where do you go for, like, when you're looking for this love of your life? Where do you go to? I mean, you can't be saying that I as a person.
You shoot your shot.
Yes, I as a person, no. Like according to what she's been talking about this entire time, I as a person, my priority is like I want someone who's providing for me, right? When you talk about someone like if you want someone who's spiritual, go ask for what? Someone who's spiritual. So you as a person, your priorities are already not even someone who's going to show you how affectionate they are or how caring they are. You want someone who's going to provide. So why would we complain about emotions in this case? You still complain about emotions? Alright, thank you. That's the point. So as we wind up this show, I want you guys to take 30 seconds each to just say something.
I'd wrap this discussion with one thing. Guys, love does not have a price. Hakuna siku yenye utanunua love na 30 bob ama 30 million ama anything. Love does not have a price. And for you, always have a good reason to stay in a relationship. Be wise.
So it's you like that. Let's go to Stella.
So I'd like to say that like gender-based violence against men is propagated actually mostly by men themselves, because it is men who continue to preach these ideals and this stereotype, to spread them to, for you, for example, if another man comes to cry to you, tone it down, you're a man, so as much as you want to blame, yes, women contribute to gender-based violence in one way or another, but men also play a role in their own suffering when it comes to gender-based violence. So yes, that's what I have to say. And you're welcome to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Miss Biggie. Thank you.
I wish we were going to counter you with chat. Yes.
So me, I would like to say that where you find love, careful. Because man, no, like, don't make me look like a bad guy, man. Okay, me, I'll say this. Stay where you're loved. And
True.
at the end of the day, you people mtakuja kulala kwa kitanda moja. And people commit suicide out here. I'm a victim of that. My ex got shot June, maneno tu ya ghetto, you know, because tumengangania tu madem, tumengangana na madem chachani moja. Don't ever go to sleep without talking to your guy, ask him how emotional he is, because at the end of the day ni mabeshte zake wenye wanamaliza. And to men, don't focus on these men on social media calling you a puny, because at the end of the day ni wendo utakuwa na dem yako kwa kitanda. Mse ananyonga mali yako, you know, and you are you. Your friends will kill you. Me, I can tell you that for a fact. Your friends will kill you. Just don't listen to people. If she's the one, talk to her. Unaweza lia hadi uanguke. That's all.
As we're winding up, and I promote Beshara. So what I can say, my take is when it comes to gender-based violence, yes, we as men are part of the problem, like propagating the issue of gender-based violence among fellow men, venye tu Stella amesema. But now, that is something that is there in the public. Like everybody knows that men do propagate gender-based violence against men. But now, the ones that are more predominant are the ones that are caused by their spouses themselves. Like, you know, for example, stress will make you be hit by a car in town and you'll die. Maybe ulitoka kwako juu dema amekwambia wewe huna kazi, hujaleta chakula, hauna ABCD, and look at Kamau, look at Njoroge, look at Otieno, look at Uching. All your friends are providing to their girlfriends, they're going out every single weekend, but mimi niko tu hapa hivi nimekaa na wewe. This guy won't show anybody that they're stressed. It's in the African society inasema kwamba man be strong, right? Don't like act like a puny. This guy will not show anybody. Kama ni mtu mjengo atatoka aende, atamit tena nani? Foreman. Who is a no joke, no nonsense, nobody, right? Because this guy is not trying to meet that standard that the spouse or the partner has already set for him as a person. So you go, you're hit by a car, you're dead. The report will say, someone was hit by a car. Wewe namba yako itaongezwa wapi? Kwa watu wenye wamekufa kwa ajali za barabara, right? While in real sense, men are busy, men are dying outside here, committing suicide, right? Because of the stress that they're going through. So one thing that I can tell you as a man, very simple. The journey of being in a relationship, it's always a journey, it's a process. It's not a single step, it's not like a single step. Tafuta mtu mwenye mtaelewana, right? Sitasema kienyeji, but tafuta mtu mtaelewana. This is someone mwenye utamwambia, babes, I don't have A, but I can provide B, and they understand.
Yeah.
Don't go for somebody mwenye atakupatia pressure. If you're like someone like Martin who says that attacking bibi yake ama girlfriend yake, I expose video to TikTok, and the lady's like, I have to do because I'm looking for followers, I need to be paid by TikTok. And you as a man, you're not comfortable with that. Go for someone that you guys can sit down and reason together. If not, remember, YOLO, you only live once. Utakufa na utaenda. Anyway, we're not preaching that, we're saying be positive, always be positive, be positive. This was your host, Mr. G, of course, with the most handsome brain now, I'm saying. And beautiful ladies, excuse me, okay. Anyway, so guys, that was the show, talking about gender-based violence against men in the society. So stay tuned, this is Gamers TV. I was your host, Mr. G. Peace.